we are going to be focusing on personality disorders. So I'm going to do a series on personality disorder, LCSW Test Prep. And welcome back to my channel, Mental Health with Melissa. I'm Melissa. If you're new here, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. I am a psychotherapist, a licensed clinical social worker, to be exact, a clinical supervisor, and a PhD psychology research student. Subscribing to my channel really helps me get mental health information to our communities of color and information to those that are interested in becoming mental health providers and LCSW Test Prep. I'm sorry that I missed the last Wednesday post, as I post new videos every single Sunday and Wednesday. I took a little bit of a break, but I'm back on that bandwagon. So again, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and I will be bringing you more test prep information along with mental health or day in the life videos. Just feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below to let me know what is helpful to you. We are going to be focusing on personality disorders. So I'm going to do a series on personality disorder, LCSW Test Prep. And so I'm going to do 3 separate questions and go over 3 different sets of personality disorder types listed in the DSM. So if that's something that you're interested in learning more about, please stay tuned. And we are going to go ahead and take a look at the first personality disorder LCSW test prep question that's going to be on this series. So you don't want to miss this. So let's just go ahead and get right into it. If you're new here, what I like or what I prefer you to do is pause, you read the question, you answer it, and then play and then compare your answer and rationale to mine. So another thing, because I know that I have quite a few new subscribers on here, is that if you haven't seen like my test prep videos that much yet, then another thing that I always recommend doing is really breaking down the vignette or the question, because a lot of the time the answer will be found in the question. So let's go ahead and read the question and then kind of narrow it down. Okay, a client is referred to a therapist for detachment from relationships, lack of support system, and no desire for relationships, and apathetic about discussion of activities. The client is most likely to be exhibiting symptoms from which of the following diagnoses from the DSM-5? All right, so as you see here, we highlighted some of the key things that this client is presenting with: detachment, lack of support, no desire for support or relationships. That's interesting. And apathy towards pleasurable things. So let's go ahead and take a look. Option A, paranoid personality disorder. So paranoid personality disorder, what is this? So this, if you have been studying and you have memorized what each of these personality disorders are, paranoid personality disorder is a non-delusional type of paranoia that somebody with this disorder really experiences. So they're misreading events or interactions. They have a lot of impulsive reactions, and they hold grudges and have a lot of expectations of being, for example, cheated on. And so does this sound like what's going on in this? Not necessarily. I mean, there may be some aspects about the lack of support system, but there's nothing in here about paranoia. So that doesn't seem to be it. So let's go ahead and cross that out. But also, again, keep in mind of all of the criteria that I mentioned, because you're going to want to remember that for the test, in case the exam wants to test your ability to assess for paranoid personality disorder. Option B, Schizoid personality disorder. Okay, so schizoid personality disorder is this extreme kind of detachment from social relationships, with a preference for really having solitude and being by oneself, having a lack of that support system, as mentioned, and being maybe emotionally unavailable. There's also a lack of pleasurable activities that this person is experiencing, and has this apathy, this type of apathy. So that sounds actually exactly like what is being discussed here. So in the detachment from relationships, let's read on and just make sure that we're not missing anything here before we just jump to answer. Option C, schizotypal personality disorder. So schizotypal personality disorder is really kind of this inappropriate type of affect that's being presented. There's a lot of ideas of reference, a lot of beliefs that may not necessarily be true. And somebody with this has extreme social anxiety or fear of being around people. This person doesn't have a lot of close friends and is pretty paranoid, with maybe sometimes appearing with a very bizarre sort of presentation and appearance. So could that be what we're looking at here? Not necessarily, because of this main lack of support system and no desire. So that's what really sets schizotypal apart from schizoid. So we're going to cross out schizotypal. Option D, generalized anxiety disorder. So generalized anxiety disorder is marked by having the 6-month period. It has to be 6 months or more of symptoms of excessive worry, of anything that has to do with constant fatigue and other stressors that make it very hard to really relax. And this is something, again, that's been present for 6 months or more. So there's other symptomology that are included in the generalized anxiety disorder, but just in kind of hearing that already sounds different than this right here. So we're going to cross that off. And the main difference between generalized anxiety disorder and the other 3 disorders that we have here, paranoid personality disorder, schizoid personality disorder, and schizotypal personality disorder, is that these are all personality disorders. Generalized anxiety disorder is an anxiety disorder. So that's going to be a completely different part of the DSM. The 3 here that we mentioned are all personality disorders. So these are kind of personality disorders in which one may present as maybe bizarre or odd. We're going to be looking more closely at other types of personality disorders in our series on personality disorders, LCSW exam prep series. But for now, just make sure that you're understanding the criteria for each of these. Just kind of, again, to reiterate in a nutshell, paranoid personality disorder is like this kind of paranoia with there's no delusions, so it's a non-delusional type of paranoia, a lot of impulsiveness, fear of being taken advantage of. Schizoid personality disorder is the detachment from social relationships and okay with that, wants to be alone. Whereas schizotypal personality disorder, somebody has extreme social anxiety, may not necessarily want to be alone. So our answer for this particular question is going to be schizoid personality disorder. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. Don't forget to stay tuned for the next video, which is going to still be on this topic, on personality disorders, LCSW exam test prep. We're going to be taking a look at the next set of personality disorders in the DSM-5. So please stay tuned for that, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button for more content like this. Until next time, managing mental health matters.